initially. So these are some of the reasons why people fail in the multi-level marketing industry, in short called the network marketing industry. And these are some of the ways on how you can avoid some of these mistakes and some of these reasons, and we'll dive right into it. So the first reason why people fail in the network marketing industry is because, and the first one is not being plugged into the system. All right. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that you can ever do in this industry. Now, this one you can do it knowingly or unknowingly. Like you can just say knowingly, I'm not going to follow the program that they are giving me, or I'm not going to be doing whatever they have said we do. Or sometimes you can just do it unknowingly. You don't know what is happening. You don't know the next step. You don't know the timetable. You don't know the set schedule of activities. So sometimes you might be left out unknowingly, or sometimes you might just be knowingly following through whatever has been discussed, but but you don't know the next course of action, or you just decide not to do it. Now, every company has a system, and I believe you guys, you have seen our cycle, our training cycle in this business. It first of all starts with, that is the OPP, and OPP simply means a big opportunity. No, sorry, OPP means opportunity plan presentation, or we just call it a presentation. That is a business presentation. So OPP is the first cycle, is the first step in the cycle, in the training cycle of our industry. So after the OPP, we have orientation. So the orientation is for those who have just joined the business. And after the this orientation is mainly to help you get a bearing of where the business is going, or what is required, or the schedule, or the plan, the do's and the don'ts. So hiyo inakuwa orientation. The same way when you report to school the first day, you are taken through an orientation so that you know where the dining hall is, where the houses are, so that you know the timetable of the school, so that you don't get lost. All right. So that is the second step. The third step, we have we have this thing called the Success Achievement Program. After the Success Achievement Program, we have something called that's the end. That is the Success Achievement Program. Then we have some of the skill sessions that you might need to be taken through. After that, we have technical training and DTC training. Those are two different things. And then we have product training. And then we also have, after product training, we have special events and special workshops that the company does, and events. So that is the training cycle. So you have to be plugged in into the system fully, completely. So whatever the team decides you're going to do, or whatever the program or the system is all about, you plug in into it, into that program, without complaining, without excuses, without providing a lot of reasons why you're not going to do it, because it has been proven that success can be created if you just have a system. If you have a system that can help you to achieve a success, and you have tested it and you've actually seen that it produces result, then the only thing that you need to make sure is that everyone is following the system. And as a team, we have our own system of presentations. We have our own system of skills sessions, of orientation for new members. We also have a system for that is for our leaders as well, and also as a session for that is a system for those who are yet to join the business, but they have already seen the present. So there is a system, there's a way in which we do things. So the only thing that you need to do is make sure that you're flowing with it like a river. You see the way you throw in, let's say, a leaf in a river, that point where it joins the river, it will flow through with the river until to where it is ending. So you need to make sure that you plug in into the system of the team, because we have tested the system and we have seen it produces results, as in we have no doubt whatsoever. How big of a result? We have seen it. How productive is the team? How much income can we have seen, we have tested everything. So the only thing that you need to do is plug in into your system. So every company has a system. It could be in form of webinars, like whatever we are doing. It could be weekly meetings, like whatever we are doing. In our case, Zoom meetings, learning of skills and applying them. Learning of skills is also a system, and applying them, there's also a system to doing it. There is also the element of team and company events like anniversary and team beta tours. For example, the anniversary that we had, that is the 8th anniversary that we had last week on Monday, for the 7th anniversary of the EdPlan 3.0. And that is such an event that you need to be part of. And I'm so much happy for those guys who are there. At least you go to see something that you will never have gotten, maybe if it was never organized or if you never attended. So we also have vacations. We have special sessions like event workshops that we organize with the company and other team leaders. So for optimal results, you need to plug in into the system, work the system, and give it time to compound. Now, let me tell you, when you plug in into the system, don't plug in half-half. Don't plug in half-half. You just in the system because probably you don't want to be left out, or you're in the system probably because your upline told you to do so. No, 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 no. I want you to be in the system because it is the right thing for you to do. It is the right thing for you to do to be in the system. So if you're not in the system, imagine all the disadvantages that you're going to get. You're going to be frustrated. You'll be wondering, how come I am not growing? How come I'm seeing other people growing and I'm the one not growing? It is because you are not following the system. You're not following the laid out plan that you have put in together with the rest of the team. If you are such a person, let me tell you what is going to happen. Because you feel like you are not ready to plug in into the system, or probably you want to do it in your own way. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. You're going to be frustrated. Some of these systems, they take a lot of time to create and to perfect. It takes a lot of time to create a system. It is not bad to try to reinvent the wheel. Only you know that it will cost you a lot of time and effort to just make sure that that system is working. And it will need to go through a lot of effort and time to perfect that system so that you can have easier ways of doing things. In this kind of business, what is going to save you is by using a system which has already been put in place. Because someone sat down or people sat down and they created a way of doing things. Then they discovered that they need to change the ways or they need to improve them. So they already know what works and what doesn't work. And they have tried it over and over again until they have come up with a very smooth system. Let me tell you this, in this business, it doesn't matter what works. It just matters what duplicates. So the system that has been prepared by your team leaders, by your upline, by the company, by every person who has been in the business for a while, it has been tested and proven, like it has been sung. It has been tested, approved, and trusted. So you just need to find a way to immerse yourself in the system. Sometimes it can become challenging to follow through the system, especially if this is your first time in this industry. Maybe for some of us, if you bring to us a new system, we might adapt it. We might adapt in it within no time. Maybe 1 day, 2, 3 days, we're already in. But if you've been in this business this is your first time being in this business, you might find it hard to follow through some of the training systems that we have, some of the schedules, because you're not accustomed to it. So what I try to do for any person who's been in the business, I try to ease you into the mentorship program and into the system of the team. But apart from me just easing you in, what are you going to make sure that you as an individual, you're also easing yourself into the system? Attend as many sessions as possible, learn as much as possible, avail yourself at all times. What will save you in this business is just showing up. Showing up to such a session, you'll get to learn something new which you never got a chance to learn. This is part of the system. Showing up in an event, you'll get to learn something new. Attending a presentation, even if you have joined the business, attending a presentation will help you to learn how the systems actually work, to learn how such a skill is done, and how you can also apply those skills. Now, the only thing that I want you to do, regardless of whether you are just new in the business or you've been here for a while, I want you to work the system, and I want you to give it time to compound. I want you to give it time to compound. For those who know mathematics, let me show you a little bit of something that you might need to understand. We did this simple mathematics a while back when we were in school. I don't know if you guys remember, where we're doing 1 to the power of maybe 0. 1 to the power of 0 is equals to 1 to the power of 0 is equals to 1. Right, together, it's like you're multiplying 1 times, is it 0 or 1? Something, I can't remember exactly. Then 1 to the power of 1, this is equals to 1. But how about 1 to the power of, we're doing something like that, 1 to the power of 1.01, 1.01. If you do something like this, you'll find it is moving, it is progressing. That means every single day, you can add 0.01 to your knowledge. Are we together? So you are adding something to your knowledge every single day, every single day, every single day. This is the extra that you need to be going. Now, if you do this, let's say times 365. If you do this times 365 days, every day you are just adding 0.1, what will happen is at some point, you're going to find yourself, you are like at 1.965. And this 965, which is extra at the top, this is now what is now the results, but you won't see it. It's like watching a sufuria of water boiling. You know, you're waiting there for that water to boil, you might take some time. You're waiting for that milk to boil, it might take some time. But the moment you just go do your own activities, the moment you realize the pot has already boiled. It's the same thing. Every single day, make sure that you're putting in the extra 0.1%. You might not see it at that point. You might not see it at that point when you are doing it. But before you know it, you'll discover, you look back and you say, enyewe nimetoka mbali. So what do I want to mean? I mean, work the system and give it time to compound. This is now what we call being patient with your activities. Being patient with your activities. Sorry. Being patient with your results. Being patient with your results. As in, you are patient with your results. You are giving it time to compound. You're not in a hurry to go to places. Yes, you are doing the activities, but you are patient with the results that you're getting, because at the end of it all, you look at all the 0.1s that you've been doing and you'll discover umefika mbali sana. Now, while you are being patient with your results, be very much patient with the results. Don't be in a hurry to go to places and you cannot accommodate that result. For example, for any person who has just joined us recently, what if I tell you tomorrow morning I'm giving you a team of 100 people, and you have to address this team of 100 people? You as a new person, what can you tell that team of 100 people? And chances are you cannot say anything to them that will make sense, because even you don't know the system so much. You want to make the money? Yes. Making the money comes with the responsibility of having a team. And making money is not just making money. It is taking charge of that team and helping them to grow as well. Now, if you are impatient with your results, you want to have a team of 100, no, you want to make 100,000 Kenyan shillings per month. That 100,000, how is it coming in? It is coming in through the matching bonus and the sponsoring bonus and all the other ways of earning combined. How do those earnings come in? When you're starting to build your network, when products are being bought, when your network continues to grow, that is the time that your income is growing. So that means that your income is growing with the size of your team, and the size of your team growing means you're getting more and more responsibilities. So I want you to remember, be very much patient with the results. Don't be in a hurry to get something that you cannot accommodate right now. So be very much patient with the results, but I want you to be impatient. I want you to be impatient with your activities. Anything that is required for you to do in this business, do it 1,000%. Do it 1,000%, or follow the 10x rule. Whatever you see your uplines doing, whatever you see me doing, if there is a presentation, make sure instead of just having 2-3 people in that presentation, make sure you have 20, 30, 40 people. Be very much impatient with your activities, because it is these activities that is going to give you results. Are we together? I want to teach you something called the Pareto principle. And the Pareto principle says that the 20% that you put in is what will give you 80% results. So the 20% that you put in, the activities, you are impatient with your activities. Those activities are what will give you 80% of the results. Are we together? So I want you to always remember that. Be very much impatient with your activities, because they will contribute 80% to your income. Majority of your income, 80% of it, will come from the activities that you're required to do in the system. Whether it's a presentation, whether it is follow-up, whether it's closing, whether it's following, whether it's assisting your team, 80% of your income is going to come from that. The other 20% results will come from the other non-important activities. So plug into the system fully, believe in the system, and avoid trying to reinvent the wheel. Don't be in this system half-half. I was saying, don't be in the system half-half, as in you're in, you're out. You don't believe in it, you have no confidence in it. So even the system is confused. Are you in? Are you out? Are you doing the activities? Are you not? So believe in the system. We have placed a very wonderful system together with your team leaders and uplines. And the only thing that you need to do is make sure that you're plugged in, believe in the system, because you can already see the results it is creating, and avoid reinventing the wheel. Now, number 2, being uncoachable. Being uncoachable, in fact, this is the worst thing that you can, it is better you're not plugged into the system. Okay, anyway, all those are still mistakes, but being uncoachable is a very big, very, very big mistake. Listen to what your uplines, mentors, and leaders tell you. Their success is dependent on your success, so they cannot mislead you. And I told you guys that the only way for me to be successful in this industry is if each and every one of you also become successful. So I cannot teach you, or I cannot wish you bad luck, or I cannot tell you something that cannot help you. Anytime I meet any one of you, you'll always hear me telling you, leader, do this, do that, do this, do that. And sometimes I might say it in a harsh tone. Sometimes I might say it like I don't care. Sometimes you might feel like I'm being unconsiderate. Sometimes it might feel like I'm a bad person. But trust you me, every one of you, every single one of you, the moment you become successful, of course, it's going to be my success. So I am not telling you to do that thing, maybe because I hate you, or maybe because we are not friends. No, 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 no. I'm telling you to do that thing because, first of all, you have to become successful. As in, first of all, lazima uomoke. That is where my success is. So I cannot be successful until you do whatever I'm guiding you on doing. For any person who has been part of the mentorship program, you might find I was very much harsh. You might find I was unkind at some times. Maybe I was even calling you names. It is how it is supposed to be done. But if you've been very much patient, you've been learning, you've been putting in the effort, whatever I'm teaching you, you are doing it, you might find it easier in the next few days, few weeks, because now that is where your success is going to come from. So if I wouldn't have done that, we will be laughing, but right now you'll be suffering because you're not growing. So sometimes, even me, I have to follow the directions of my upline. Sometimes back, my uplines were so much harsh on me. I was doing some mistakes here and there, and they were so much harsh on me. But I was so much, I did not even utter a word. I was like, yes, upline, I'll do it. Yes, upline, I'll sort it out. Yes, upline, I'll do that and that and that. Yes, upline, I'll mentor. Yes, upline, I'll do that. Even today, when I'm being called by my leader, my upline, or even let's say our international trainer Sarens, I was sharing with you for the Speakers Bureau. It was tough. In fact, whatever we are doing right now is so much easy. There's no pressure. In the Speakers Bureau, we are being taught on time management. And let me tell you, any person who went through that Speakers Bureau or any Speakers Bureau that you have been taken through by Sarens, you are an automatic success. He teaches you the basic principles of success, and he does it in a very harsh way. Sometimes he calls you he is holding a microphone and he's calling you, Glenn, you are a fool. You are standing in front of us, you are telling us nonsense. Glenn, you are a fool. And you just have to sit down and bear with it, because he knows what is best for you. I'm telling you this because you have your uplines here in this session, and some of them might be as young as you are. Some of them might be your friends. Some of them you might never really relate with them so much. They might not have gone to school or done a very prolific course like the one you're doing or the one you have done. They might not be as aged as you are, or they might not even know English vile wewe unajua. You might be knowing words like bombastic with hula baloo, and furthermore, nonetheless, however, you know how to use those verbs, and you know how to drop some treacherous with you know all those words and English, but your upline might not know it. Your upline might not even be a tenth wise or intelligent like you, but your upline knows best. Even if you're just 1 day old in the business and your upline is 1 week old in the business, your upline amekutangulia, let's say even 1 day or even a few hours, your upline knows best. You guys were in our event when Moses was sharing with us the the story of him and Geoffrey Okumu. Those two, one joined at 11, the other one joined at 4 p.m. Both of them were new in the business, but Moses knew how the business supposed to be done. And you saw Geoffrey was also there, was being celebrated. So it also means that no matter how old your upline is in the business, sometimes this business is funny. You might start making more money than your upline. You might have joined the same time, or you might have found your upline in the business, but then luck sometimes, or maybe let's say blessings come in different ways. So your business, it might take a lucky jump, you start making more money than your upline, and you start disrespecting your upline. God is watching you, and there is a thunder which is being prepared, a special type of thunder which is being inawekwa electrons, a special kind of thunder which is just being warmed up for you. That time you just try to disrespect your upline even for a second. That is the downfall in your business. That is the downfall in your business. I'm telling you this because some of you might be tempted to do it. You might think my upline does not know English. My upline is not an engineer like me. Or, my upline is not as old as I am, so they cannot tell me anything. But let me tell you, even if your upline is 16 years old and you are 70 years old, your upline knows best. And you cannot succeed in this business without the blessings of your uplines. And you realize this when you start failing in the business. You discover, where did I go wrong? You discover you've been disrespecting your upline. Be very much coachable. They know best. Sometimes your upline might not even know what they are doing. It is not you to criticize them. It is you to come together, put your heads together, and ask your upline, I've been thinking, instead of doing this, how about we try this? Maybe it can work. Don't go ahead and do it without consulting. Sometimes you guys might be having ideas. I don't object to any ideas at all. In fact, when I sit down with my team, I tell them, this is what I think. You guys bring your ideas. Whatever you guys decide is what you're going to work on. And sometimes the ideas they bring is what we work on. And I don't disrespect anyone, regardless of whether they are new in the business or not. So even me, I am coachable when it comes to you guys. There is not a time you guys have brought me any suggestion and I don't listen to it. I'll listen to it. If it's the right thing, we'll go ahead and do it. If it is not, I'll go do my own research and then I'll tell you probably this is not the best way to go. So be very much coachable. Now, their success is dependent on your success, so they cannot mislead you. Once you join an MLM company, you need to leave your background at the door and be ready to learn all the new skills needed in the business. Now, let's go to the next item on the list, that is the no prospect list. Now, prospecting is the heart and soul of network marketing. Now, without prospecting, you won't have anyone to sponsor in your business. This business is a people's helping people business. Don't know if that I don't know if that English is correct. It is a people helping people business, or is a people's helping people's. I don't know, but anyway, you get my point. So it is a people's helping people business. So you need to be in a position to help someone new every single day, and it is the backbone of this business. After all, it is even in the name, network marketing. So you are building a network of like-minded individuals. How best would you need to do this? By first of all, having a prospect list. When you join the business, the first prospect list that you need to work on is probably the contact list that you have on your phone. Those are the first people that you need to help out first of all. They say charity begins at home. So you need to start from there. Before you think of helping a stranger, before you reach out to a stranger or any person, you need to start working on the people that you already know. That's why it is very much good to start with your friends. Alternatively, because you are still new in the business and you might not have all the information needed for you to grow your business or to explain to anyone at that first 1 month or two, it is very much advisable to alternatively use someone who is experienced in the business. Use your upline, use a crossline, use someone who has been in the business for a while. That might be an easier and a shortcut to success, especially when you're working with your contact list. So most network marketers fail because they don't prospect and they don't create a prospect list. A prospect list is a list of at least 100 names that immediately pops up in your head when someone asks you, who among your family and friends do you think might be interested in the business you've just joined? And I was advising you, if you have that list, any person in that list that you could think of, add them. And if possible, add the people who you think they know. Like, for example, if John is my friend, and John is a very good friend of mine, I know John is not the only person that I can get access to. So what will I do? I will go to Joe. When I'm writing down the name John, I will also include John, the people who interacts with, his parents, his teachers, any person who he's ever been in contact with, his business partners, his family. I'm like, John knows person so and so, John also knows person this and this. So you're building something like a very huge tree. So if this is John, John knows at least 10 people. If this is Susan, Susan knows at least 5 people. If this is Alex, Alex knows like 5 people. So when you're writing down that list, you are expanding it, you are updating it every single day. Religiously update this list every day. So you contact these prospects, set an appointment, and present the business to them. If you don't have a prospect list, I will urge you guys to create it right now. And I think with us in our organization, the moment you get started, we have your team leaders to help you with that. Because as I said earlier, you might not be in a position to explain the business to someone, maybe because you're still new, or even if you're still new, maybe there are some things which you can do wrong. Because I know for some of you, you have no you you have no like like you have no problem even in explaining. You might join today, by tomorrow you have 2 or 3 friends and you're telling them, hey Nani, come and listen to that thing. It is the greatest thing since the invention of the wheel, and I promise you will not be disappointed. Your friend will come in and they will listen. But there are some of us who might do it the wrong way. So what would I advise you guys to do? I'll advise you guys to make sure that you start with your contact list in your phone. Pull out a form, write their name, their nickname, their phone number, their current location, and what are they currently doing. When we have such a list, it is so much easier to help you to start building a business from the people that you already know. So you might find the people that you know are the first people who can benefit from this project. So instead of starting to work with strangers or starting to build with other people, the easiest and the best thing to do is to start building your foundation in this business with the people who you already know, who they already trust. Unless wewe ulikuwa mwizi, unless wewe ni mkorofi, unless you are an untrustworthy person, it is very much easy to build with the people around you. But sometimes it might become challenging because probably your contact list is full of closed-minded people. It means that birds of a feather flock together. Probably at some point you're also a closed-minded people. You're a closed-minded person. So that's why probably even the contact list that you're providing is full of people who are closed-minded to opportunities. But for an average person, out of a list of about 250, probably you'll have 3, 4, 5 people joining your business at that point. Are you together? So present to them the business. But if you don't have a prospect list, I believe for all of us who are here, I will advise you to start right now. Create one. It is the backbone of this business. After that, after you've written down, how can you expand this list? Every day, an average human being meets about 3 to 10 people. An average human being interacts with at least 3 to 10 people every single day. So what do you need to do? Every single day, you need to add at least 3 to 5 people in that contact list. Everywhere you go to a hotel, you meet new people. Take their contact. Tell them, hi, maybe let me have your contact. Anytime I have a new idea or I have a business project, I think I can call you. Hii life ni kusaidiana. So let me have your number. Take their contact, save it somewhere. You use public means every now and again, save that contact. You go to concerts, you go to entertainment sports, you go to school, you go to work, all those places, you meet at least 3 to 5 people every single day. Add them to that list. And then once you start building that friendship, set an appointment, present to them the business. Tell them I have something which I believe can really help you out. Do you have time at 9 p.m. tomorrow night? I can share with you a link so that you can check it out. Any normal person is looking for an opportunity. The human being is always looking for better opportunities. That's why you will see Elon Musk, in as much as he's a billionaire, he still wants to buy Twitter. And you wonder, why does a multi-billionaire wants to buy Twitter? Why? Because every person in this world is looking for a new opportunity. A business-minded person or someone who is full of growth mentality is always on the lookout for a new idea. So when you tell them, hi, I have something which I believe can really benefit. Do you have time? Maybe we can check it out together. They will avail themselves, of course. So create a prospect list and constantly expand that list. Let's go to the next thing, that is lack of commitment. And network marketing is just like any other business. If you don't put in the work, you will not get the results. And I think we all are familiar with this up to this point. In this industry, people come with the mentality of, I don't need to put in so much effort. But this is an industry just like any other. You guys have seen how, the other day when we're having our 7th anniversary, when those 2 artists came, you guys saw for how many minutes they performed. Neither of them performed for more than 20 minutes. If you are keen, none of them performed for more than 20 minutes. And we were seated there with some of the leaders and we were wondering, huyu ashaingiza milioni moja saa hizi, hii 20 minutes zenye ameperform hapa ashaingiza 1 million Kenyan shillings. you know. And one of the leaders reminded me something that Glenn, in as much as ameperform for 15 minutes or even less na ametengeneza hiyo milioni yake, amepambana ndiye afike hapo. Everything in this world requires commitment. You cannot just wake up today and you expect to get results for something that you did not work for. In this world, there is no such rule as something for nothing. You cannot be given something for doing nothing. You must pay the price for success. And in this industry, it's not different from any other. It's called the network marketing industry. So you need to build the network. You need to grow an organization. We need to see you committing yourself to getting the results. And in this business, if you give it 10%, guess what? This business will give you 10%. If you give it 20%, the business will also give you how much? 20%. If you give it 50% activity and input and your commitment and your belief, it will also give you 50%. So everything in this business is equal to the effort that you put in. If you give it 100%, it will give you 100% in terms of income, in terms of results. Let me tell you, this rule holds for not just this industry, but every other industry. Now, sometimes when you are seeing the presentation for the first time, you are like, oh, this is one of the easiest industries to be in. Oh my God, I can just become a millionaire out of nothing. Then you get in and you wonder, what do you mean? So there are a certain set of activities. There is a certain set of responsibilities. There is a system that you need to follow. There is a coaching. All those success stories that you saw in the event or you've been seeing here, all those success stories and everything, they took time, they took effort, they took energy, commitment, money, finances to create that result. And the most committed person is the one who is going to get the most out of this industry. For you to be successful in this industry, you need to take the business seriously by investing more into it with your time, learning skills, and applying the skills learned. It is not just being there, upline, tumekuja meeting, upline, we are listening, upline, we are learning. Yes, you have committed your time in learning the skills, but are you applying it? Remember what I told you when you started this? This is not a proof. This is not enough proof that you should be making the money. This is not enough to convince me that you guys should be making the money. We need to see it with the type of commitment that you're giving it. So sometimes learning the skills is not enough. Applying it and doing it 10 times is what will create the difference. Some people will tell me, oh, you know, I don't have time. Oh, you know, I'm employed right now. Oh, you know, here I'm very far. Oh, you know, here I am outside the country. Oh, you know, let me tell you, as an upline, the most I could do is just listen to you complain. As a leader, as a mentor to you, I'll just listen to you tell me all the reasons why you cannot attend a meeting, all the reasons why you're not learning, all the reasons why you're not applying the skills. But let me tell you, there is nothing that I can do about that. Mine is just to provide the system and to make sure that you're following through. Whether you do it or not is now you. Commitment cannot be taught. Commitment is you now to do it. I'm telling you this because I don't want after 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or after 6 months, someone to come and tell me, upline, I'm not making the money. Upline, I'm not growing like person so-and-so. Upline, why am I, you know, why is my DTC still reading 0? Upline, why is this and that happening? It is all about your commitment. I'll just tell you, it is your commitment. And you guys wonder, why are some people successful and others are not successful in this industry? It is because they are not committed. You remember what our upline Moses said during the event? After he was given the award, there's something which he said, and he said, Some people are not ready to commit themselves and they give up along the way. But that is the time when the business is actually supposed to be growing, supposed to be booming. And he gave a very perfect example. One of our leaders, who had 9 of the leaders being celebrated in top 20 Kenya, was not committed enough to the business. So they left. And the time they left is now when their team started growing and when their income was supposed to be even be shooting so much higher. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, be committed until the end. Tell yourself, promise yourself that you're not going to give it up until you get what you wanted out of the business. And personally, I always believe that the most committed person will always have my attention. You cannot be the most uncommitted person and yet you still come complaining, you still come asking difficult questions that I cannot answer. When I see someone is committed, what I usually do, and even your uplines know, I'll call you aside for a special meeting because you've impressed me with the kind of commitment you're having. I'll call you for a special meeting and I'll help you to even strategize even better. I'll see how you've been doing your activities and I'll just tell you, hey, come. Sit down here. I've been seeing what you're doing and let me tell you something. This is how you can even do it better. And that's why you will see people who are growing, they keep on growing in the team. You can ask them. I sit down with them every now and again. I tell them, hey, hey, come. I want to talk to you. I've been seeing how you're doing, and I think I have something to add. But you'll never find me sitting down with someone who is unproductive, someone who is not committed, someone who is not learning the skills, someone who doesn't have time, someone who's not applying the skills learned. If I've never called you for a meeting to sit down with you to discuss 1 or 2, 3 things about your business, then ask yourself, what have I been doing? What have I been doing wrong? There must be something you've been doing wrong, and change on that. Because if you don't change on that, these things that I'm teaching other people, these things that I'm helping other people to grow and accomplish, you're missing out on them. And that should not be the case. That should not be the case. We want, if we are growing all of us, and no one is being left behind. But at the same time, I cannot carry everyone on my back. I can only carry 2 or 3 people who are committed at a go. I'll go take 3 people, one on the left, one on the right, na moja kwa mgongo, and then I'll cross with them over the bridge and I'll tell them, yeah, are you okay now? You're good now? Ah, fantastic. Let me also see who is also committed. I'll go back and pick 2 or 3 more other people and I'll carry them on my back and I'll tell them this is the way to go and I'll put them on the other side and I'll make sure, are you okay now? You're good to go? Fantastic. Let me also look who is the most committed. By the time I realize you're the least committed person, I've already helped every person who is committed. So this is sort of a warning. This is sort of an appreciation to those who have been committed and to those who have been uncommitted, respectively. And so let's proceed. So some people quit network marketing claiming it generated little to no income. However, the real question is, did they give it 100%? Whatever I was telling you. How did you know? How would you know that you have given it 100%? That you are showing up for the sessions, that you are doing 10 times whatever you're being told. If you're being told, hey, tomorrow we're having a presentation, make sure you have at least 20 to 30 people there saying, I was connected by Alvin. Let us help you to build your foundation. Let us help you to start growing. Let us help you to acquire all these skills, and let us help you to make the income. But you have to be committed, Nani. You have to be very much committed. Your uplines also help that person because the team is so much huge. They'll only help that person who is also ready to do whatever it takes. So give it 100%, the business gives you 100%. Give it 100%, your uplines also help you. Now, because of that, let's move to the next one. And this one is lack of patience and persistence. And most networkers quit too soon. Could be in the first 6 months or even an year. And let me tell you something. Out of 100% who join the network marketing industry, about 60% quit within the first 1 month or even less. About 60% within the first 1 month, they have already gone. That is when the phases of the business, we talk about the phases of the business, whereby this time when you are starting, this is how the graph looks like. Let me use different ink. Now, this time when you're starting and you just started your journey, you might feel like you might feel like it is impossible, because at this time you are excited. Oh, first of all, you are excited about this, you're excited about the industry. And so that first month when you are starting, the excitement level is so much high. And then we have the challenges phase, or the disappointment phase. And then this point is now where majority of the people quit. Now, between this point and this point, this is usually a period of about 1 month. Just the first 1 month. That is where majority of the people quit the business. And the challenge is to keep on going past your first month. So the moment your first month imeisha, now you've started overcoming some of the challenges, you're learning the skills, you're putting in the effort, you now go into now what we call momentum. Now this one is within the first 6 months. This is within the first 6 months. Are we together? So that is within the first 6 months. That is when that is the momentum is actually keeping in. Your team is growing. You're starting to make the money. You get some ranks and so on and so forth. So within the first 6 months, then what happens is, up to this point, now you are going to be facing another challenge whereby your team is too huge, you cannot keep track of it. And so on top of that, you're still making the money, so you start declining a little bit in terms of income. And this is now where when we talk about the critical phase, this is for a new person who has joined the business. This is called the critical phase. I hope you can see the screen clearly. This is called the critical phase. Now, at this point, now this is now where leaders now quit the business. Yes, someone you can see is making the money, but they can see their business is declining. They are not making the money that they wanted to make. And this is the point where majority of the leaders now quit the business at this point. But when you overcome this challenge, now you go and you keep on going. Now this is now what we call financial freedom. And financial freedom in this industry can occur anywhere between 2 to 4 years plus in this business. These are the phases, and you cannot overcome them. You cannot escape them. You have to go through them one at a time. You have to go through the critical phase. You have to go through the excitement phase, the disappointment phase, the momentum phase, and you have to go through the financial freedom phase. And when you overcome all that, you will now call yourself a winner. You have gone through all that. And so whatever it takes for you to grow in this business, whatever it's required for you, you need to be ready to persevere, and you need to be patient at all times, because it is part of the journey. It is part of success. And so success in network marketing is not overnight. It is not overnight, and it has never been overnight, and it can never be overnight. So what you need to do is you need to be patient. You need to persevere. It is not a get rich quick scheme. It is a step-by-step journey. Enjoy the journey. Some of you might be thinking some of the problems that you're going through are custom made for you. You might be thinking, oh, it's only you who your friends are rejecting the business. No, even us, when we started, our friends rejected the business. You might be thinking it's you who your parents are so much strict on you and they don't want you to do the business. But remember, it's not just you alone. There are people who've gone through that phase again. You might be thinking that it's you alone who is broke and you have bills to pay and the business is still not paying you enough to cater for your bills. No, everyone had to go through that point. Now, what creates the difference between the most successful and the rest is that they understand they need to be patient and they need to be persistent. Being persistent means you are persevering despite the challenges that you're going through. Success is not overnight, and it differs from one person to another. And as I was telling you, You might be looking at other people. Yes, you've joined the business today. Both of you have joined the business today, or you join around the same time period. But you discover that this other person is growing so much fast, they are making a lot of money. No, it is because that is their time. They have just hit their success stage earlier than you. Even in life, there are some people who attain success earlier than others. There are some people who buy Range Rovers at 70s, and there are other ones who get it at 28 years old. There are others who achieve, let's say, they build a mansion when they are 40 years old or 50 years old, and there are others who do it in their 20s and in their teens. That does not mean that that other person is better than you. It just means that their success is getting to that imefika your point. You could be working hard for months without results, but that does not mean you have failed. I want you to remember, be patient with your results, but be impatient with your activities. Keep on doing a lot of activities 10 times. Do the activities 10 times every single day. But whatever the business is giving you, be patient with it. If you're doing the right thing, as long as you're doing the right thing, if you're also working hard for months and you're not getting results, that does not mean now you keep quiet and you say, my upline told me I should persevere and be patient. No, find out what you are doing wrong. Probably there's something you're doing wrong. Probably it's a skill which you haven't learned. Probably it's something which you still need to understand. Probably you just need to fine tune whatever you are doing. But don't keep quiet and you're not growing. Ask, research, meet your upline every day. Muulize upline, mbona mimi sijakuwa kama wewe? Nafaa nifanye nini ndio nikuwe kama wewe? Na atakwambia ni nini unafaa ufanye ndio ukuwe kama yeye. So work hard, keep on putting the results. But when they don't come in, that doesn't mean you are failed. It means you need to put in more effort, or you need to reevaluate your strategies of executing your business plan. You need to do that. So review what you may be doing. Oh, whatever I was telling is actually here. I forgot I put it here. Review what you may be doing wrong and change, stroke, improve on it, but never quit. Remember, quitters never win and winners never quit. Sorry. Quitters never win and winners never quit. There's something that I want you to understand about this industry, that everyone will always be successful. Even our upline confirmed in the event. Moses, remember what he told you guys, if you are keen during the event. He said that you can never fail in this business. And he said, the only time you're going to fail in this business, the only time you're ever going to fail in this business is if you do what? Is if you quit. That is the only time you are ever going to fail in this business. The moment you do what? The moment you quit. But as long as you don't quit, as long as you keep on going, as long as you keep on trying, you will always reevaluate your strategies of executing your business plan. You will always discover that you need to put in more effort. You will always discover there's something you need to change and improve on. You'll always discover the things that you've been doing wrong. And when you keep on discovering ways you've been doing wrong and things that you've not been doing the right way, you will always find another path to success. After the event, we were talking with my upline, Sir Collins, and he was complaining, how am I number 23? Last year I was number 22. This year I'm number 23, which means I've even gone backward. And we were talking, we left the event, we left the venue at around some minutes past 1 a.m. And as he was complaining, I told him, upline, hold on, just relax. The reason why you have gone back to number 23 is because there's something you've not been doing. There's something you've done. Imagine I was the one advising him. And I was telling him, together with a few other leaders who were with even our upline Moses, there was something I was telling him, that you have not failed. Upline, in fact, by going back, you've just discovered another way not to do it. So right now that you've discovered another way not to do it, it means starting from today until next year, You have now discovered the mistakes you've been doing, and next year you're going to do better. Today we were with one of our fellow leaders, that is Mr. Olari, at the office, and he's telling me upline, hey, our upline right now, he's in beast mode. He's in beast mode, and in fact, the things that he has done since the event is unspeakable. I was even wondering, kwani amefanyiwa nini? Kwani amejam ndiye anachapa kazi hivyo? And I discovered whatever I told him, he listened, and he told me, yes, in fact, right now that you've said that, I've discovered another way that I'm going to approach this. So you can never fail in this industry. I want you guys to always remember that, and confirm for me in the chat box. Confirm for me in the chat box. You can never fail in this industry. The only time you're going to fail in it is when you do what? When you quit. Ukisha quit, as in mambo yako imeishia hapo. A larger part of the team that is here today, your upline just quit at the time when their business was expanding. In fact, right now she even got a rank. Right now she has a very huge team, and she quit when things are now improving, things are now growing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, confirm for me in the chat box. And so that is one of you has already confirmed. So I want you to always have that at the back of your mind as we proceed to the next item on this list, and that is the salesman syndrome. And I want to tell you that the salesman syndrome can really affect your growth in this industry in this way. Network marketers are not salesmen. Network marketers are not salesmen. A salesman job is to get a sale, get a commission, and move on to the next sale, and let the company's customer service worry about any problems that might occur. Are you together? A network marketer, on the other hand, doesn't just get a sale. He needs to duplicate himself so that his customer will always learn to get sales if he or she so desires. And this is what I was telling you. The moment you have decided to do this business, remember you are committing to helping other people. You're not here to bring people into the business and let them be. You are here to build an organization. You are here to build a team, a successful team. How will that team grow? That team will only grow if you duplicate yourself to your team. If you make sure that your team knows whatever you know, that they can do the business with or without you, that they can handle everything whether you are there or not. So you need to learn how to duplicate yourself so that your team can also grow and get sales and get ranks and all do all that thing that they desire, even if you're not around. And most network marketers focus on signing up more people rather than on duplicating themselves. There's a reason why it is called there's a reason why you can actually there's a reason why it's called sponsoring bonus. Sorry about that. There's a reason why it is called the sponsoring bonus. So this sponsoring bonus, there's a difference between sponsoring and recruiting. There's a difference between sponsoring and recruiting. Now this salesman syndrome, this is now what we call recruiting. You are just there to bring in everyone into the business, because at that time you are thinking about how to make more money. In fact, that's the next mistake. You're thinking about making more and more and more and more and more money, but you are not focused on helping these people you brought into the team. You forgot that these people, they trusted in you, they believed in you. So you are just recruiting them. This is a very big mistake. If you're here to just recruit people and leave them in the business, just leave it right now. Wachana na biashara. Instead, I want you to try sponsoring. What does it mean to sponsor? When you talk about sponsoring, na sio yenye mnafikiria, sponsoring is all about making sure that this person who has trusted in you, this person is being supported, that they are learning, they are making the money, and this person is okay in the business. That means you need to be checking up on them regularly. You need to be supporting them. You need to be solving their problems. They might come to you with challenges. You need to listen to them and, help them to solve those challenges. That is to someone who is a sponsor. And you can see in some, what do you call this? In some, let's say, circles, let's say a recovery program for alcohol addicts or cocaine addicts. When you're taken to that program, I don't believe any one of you has been taken to that program so far. Let me say so far. I don't believe any one of you has been taken to any one of those programs. But for example, when you go to such a program, what they do, they give you to someone who is going to take care of you. That person is supposed to make sure that you don't relapse, that you attend all your sessions, recovery sessions. That person is called a sponsor. And I want you to be like that person. You are given to a person by God. You guys were given to me by God. All of you. And that's why I have to take care of you. Whether you give me your cooperation or not, I have to learn how to work with you. Or else I'll not be blessed more. So I have to learn how to take care of each and every one of you, because as an upline, I want to make sure that all of you grow. It is my responsibility. The same way you guys are here. I want to see all of you guys taking care of your team. That person that you've been given to by God. Huyo ndo mtu Mungu amesema mnaenda kuomoka na yeye. So you need to look at that person like a millionaire, like the next Moses Adika, like the next top one in Kenya. You need to look at that person in that way, because that person is now your responsibility, regardless of whether you know them or not. It is your responsibility to take care of that person. You are the sponsor. When you ulipata the sponsoring bonus, that is just a bonus because you are going to take care of them. Don't look at the sponsoring or the matching bonus as a means for you to make money. No, look at that sponsoring bonus kama mshahara yenye ushapewa ndio usaidie huyo mtu. Look at that matching bonus of 4,800 as a payment for that person, for you to take care of that person until they grow. Look at it that way. Don't look at it as, oh my God, I've already made 10,800. Sherehe napiga wapi weekend? Where can I go partying this weekend? No, that person is your responsibility. Most network marketers focus on signing up more people rather than on duplicating themselves. Always remember that it is not a matter of multiplication. It is a matter of duplication. It is about leveraging your time and effort instead of doing everything yourself. And I told you guys earlier on, in this business, you only need one person on the left to know and do everything that you can do, and one person on the right to know and do everything that you do. Now, once this person starts growing, once this person starts making the money, once this person starts, making the income, what does that mean? And this other person starts making the income, because you have two people. Huyu akitengeneza 1 million, if this person makes 1 million and this other person makes 1 million, that simply means you will automatically make 1 million plus. In fact, you'll make more, because you've helped him to make a million, you've helped him to make a million. This is so much better than you sponsor this person, you sponsor this person. You come sponsor another person, you sponsor people. You sponsor people, you don't help them. You'll find yourself having sponsored 1 million people on the left and 1 million people on the right. And 1 million people on the right, and you discover that you are not growing. It is because you went on and sponsored every person in this world, but you did not help any one of them. So I want you to avoid the salesman syndrome. It is going to kill your business. And that's actually the next thing that we're going to talk about. So you just duplicate yourself and your team will take care of the rest. Now, being too much income driven. Most of us join network marketing for one main reason: to make big money. It is if financial freedom was not part of the equation, we will not have joined this business. And if I ask all of you guys, why did you join the business? To make money, to become financially free. But if I ask you, are you ready to do invitation presentation? Are you ready to teach your team? Are you ready to coach? Are you ready to go through sleepless nights to just make sure that your team is growing and doing all the necessary things? Most of you will have been, if that's the deal, then let it be. Afadhali kai. But because you saw the money, you are like, hell yes, I am in. I want to make the money. But if I told you that you have to do all that, all those things, a schedule of activities, a series of responsibilities for you to be there, for you to get the financial freedom, most of you would have said no to the project and you wouldn't have joined this business, including myself. Let me tell you, when I saw this business, I was hell yes. The moment I started growing a team. I was like, hell no, I cannot do this. But then I discovered if this is now what is going to take me to become financially free in this world, then maybe let me do it. Let me just do it. Because I said yes to the project, let me now say yes to the responsibilities that come with it. It's like saying yes, in the church you are asked, will you take this person as your lawfully wedded husband and wife, for better for worse? And at that time you are saying hell yes. Then after 1 week, they throw a sufuria at your head and you're like, hell no, wacha ikae, divorce mara hiyo hiyo. The same thing happens with relationships. We say yes because it feels so good the first time, but before you know it, you discover this person comes with a lot of baggages, a lot of, you have to take care of them, you have to be there, you have to make them, and it scares you. And you said, if this is now what it comes with in a relationship, then I wouldn't have said yes. And you said, to hell with you, I'm out of this. It is a relationship and you are doing a wedding in this business. You said yes to the project, for better, for worse, for sickness, for health, through thickness and thinness, through
Excellent.
through thickness and all that. So you need to also persevere and go through with it. So the mistake many people make is to set their sights purely on the monetary gains. And when the monetary gains come, they forget everything else. Or when the monetary gains do not come the way they wanted, they give up as well. So most network marketers fail because they're too income driven and they are impatient and want to start earning big money right away. Like I already told you, big money comes with responsibilities. One of my mastermind leaders was sharing with me, and he told me, Glenn, the more money you make in this business, the more responsibilities you have. I want you to look at our upline, Moses Adika. I wouldn't want to be Moses Adika right now. Okay, apart from the success that he has, you guys don't see the responsibilities that he has. Well, I look at that and I'm like, if that is what it takes to drive that Range Rover, then he deserves even 5 of them. You don't see the kind of work ethic he puts behind the scenes. You don't see the kind of responsibilities he has for a team of over 50,000 individuals in over 100 countries. He is running all that. And you here, guys, you are like 10, 20 of you, and you're already giving me a headache. And you are just leaders. I've not even talked about the other part of the team outside the country. So I wonder, if I'm going to go through all that for me to get to that to get to that point, then it means I have a lot of things that I need to do personally. So what about you? If you're here, you've just joined the business, maybe 1 month, 1 year, you still have a long way to go. So be patient and wait. The big money will come if you do the right things. They say money is just a way of keeping the score. The actual real game is in the activities and in the team. When you help your team to grow, your income becomes automatic. The moment you just help your team to start growing, you help your first two people to connect their first two people, you help them to grow, to also connect their first two people, their first two people lead duplication, you teach them the skills, you help them to get their ranks, you help them in registration, you help them in all those things that you need to help them with. then guess what? The time you finish down there, you look up and you discover you built an empire, and in the process, you've also made some good amount of money. So never see prospects as walking money. Usione a person walking and you're just imagining, wow, 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 if this guy just joins with a Technovas package, I will make 20,000 plus another 14,400 times three. And you start calculating how much money you can make. Never do that to people. Look at people as potential leaders and potential top earners in your team. That's why I tell you guys, my biggest happiness will be seeing the 19 of you. Okay, we are 19. So the 18 of you plus me in our 8th anniversary for the Ed Plan 3.0. My joy will be seeing all 19 of us plus the one who will be joining us tomorrow, or the person who is not here in this meeting. Ama tuache wenye wanatusumbua kwa hii meeting, wenye wametusumbua attend meeting tuwatoe kwa equation. But anyway, let me not say that. My joy will be seeing the 19 of us plus our newest leaders, all of us stepping into the top 20 podium at our next anniversary. That will be my happiness. That will be, because when I look at you guys, I just see potential. And you guys are, anytime you meet me, I usually tell you, and you are joking. I'll point out and I'll tell you, and most of you guys think I always joke. I'll point and I'll tell you, hey, John, you are joking. You have the potential. Why are you not growing? What is stopping you from growing? I see the potential in each of you. And so I have to remind every one of you every single day, hey, Nani, you can do it. Why are you not doing it? And any person who has joined this business and you have the right mindset, I always believe that you have the potential to succeed. You just have to find a way to get there using the systems and the tools that we have provided. The beauty of network marketing is one cannot succeed without helping others succeed first. I think I already mentioned that to you earlier, that for you guys being successful will actually be my joy, and that's the time I'll actually be successful. But until then, I'll keep on pushing you guys. I'll keep on reminding you to attend meetings. I'll keep on reminding you to fill the presentation. I'll keep on reminding you to learn the skills and to do your part and so on and so forth. I'll keep on reminding you. And that's why probably I don't have a Range Rover right now. Probably that's why I'm not making 1.5 million Kenyan shillings per month. Until then, until when you guys start making 1 million each one of you, that's the time I'll actually be successful. So I want you to also think about that. And I would like to tell you guys, I want you guys to be what? I want you guys to be CEOs. I want you guys to be CEOs. Kila mtu, everyone in this session, you are a CEO. Depends on the CEO that you are. I'm CEO Horsepower. I can see there is CEO Health and Prosperity. What about the rest of you guys? What is the name of your team? I know there is a CEO somewhere in this session. I know there's another CEO in this session. So I want to know, which CEO are you? The team that you're going to be building, the organization that you're going to be building, you are going to be the one in charge of that team. You're going to be the one helping that team to grow. So you need to start acting like a damn CEO and start taking charge of yourself. So today, after this meeting, everyone in the group, tell me you're the CEO of which team. Tell me the name of your organization. Even if you've just started today, even if you've just joined today, go to the group. Tell me you're the CEO of what? I'm the CEO of Horsepower. I'll start by telling you that. What about you? I want to see the kind of leaders that are in this session. I want to see the kind of mentors that are going to be in this team. And if you're not going to be a CEO, tell me right now so that I remove you from the blessings that I'll be giving at the end of this session. You tell me you're the CEO of what and what, and I'll bless that team and that organization and your generation and all the leaders you're going to build in that team. You're going to be getting blessings today. So if you're not a CEO, just tell me in this meeting you're not a CEO, so that when others are being blessed, you are left out, so that we don't give blessings to the wrong people. They actually go to the people who are going to be caring about others so much. And so I want to finish this by saying that The beauty of this is you cannot succeed without helping others succeed first. And lastly, I want us to talk a little bit about procrastination. It is the habitual postponing of acting on a task repeatedly. It is the habitual it is the habitual postponing that is acting on a task repeatedly. For instance, yesterday you said yesterday you may have planned to prospect, you might have planned to prospect today, but when the time comes to act on it, you slack off, you become lazy. You said, I'll do it at that other time, let me relax kidogo. Procrastination, they say, is the thief of what? I can't remember the exact phrase, but they say procrastination is the thief of is it the thief of joy or the thief of dreams or the thief? But I remember it's still something. When you're going to be planning your daily activities, it is supposed to be done at that time, right there and then. You cannot plan to do something and then you postpone on it, saying you'll do it at another time. You'll find yourself having wasted an entire day or 2 days, an entire week, or even an entire procrastination is a thief of time. I think it goes like that. You are going to be killing your dreams slowly. Let me tell you something that my upline Sir Collins told me. My upline Sir Collins told me this when I was joining the business, and I actually thought he was joking. He told me, any day that you're not doing business activities in this business, you know very well you're supposed to do, let's say, prospecting. You know very well you're supposed to be doing presentation. You know very well you're supposed to be anything that you're supposed to be doing. Any day that you don't do it, my upline Sir Collins told me, you're going to pay it with your blood and your sweat and your tears at some point in the business. And at some point, I thought my upline was just making things up. He told me, Glenn, do this. And then I tell him, upline, I'll do it at that time. Glenn, do that. I tell him, upline, I'll do that. And he just kept on telling me, any day that you're not doing business activities in this business, guess what? You're never going to escape it. You're going to pay it ukombele. You're going to pay it ukombele. And guess what? It's going to be even more painful, and no one is going to tell you what to do. You'll do it yourself. My upline used to tell me a certain set of things. Glenn, do that. I'll tell him, upline, I'll do it. One of my good friends, that is Sir Calvin's, was reminding me on today's on Monday, on Saturday, we were with him, and he was reminding me, hey, Glenn, if this is you, hey, I wish Sir Collins could just see you right now. You remember the times he used to tell you do that, and you were like, yeah, not right now, upline, I cannot do it. Guess what? Right now, you're doing it, and you're doing it even 3 times, and he's not even telling you to do it. Let me tell you guys, the funny thing about this business is you will always pay for the price of financial freedom. You can never escape it. So what I tell my leaders, this time when you're doing it, do it with us. This time when people are joining the business and they're in the mentorship programs, do it with them. This time when people are putting in their time and effort to grow, do it with them, because guess what? There is a time it's going to come. You're the one who's going to be left behind, and you're going to do it whether you like it or not. And it's going to be even more painful. It's going to cost you even more. It's going to require you to put in, as in, there are things which you'll just have to pay the price. So the question I'll ask you guys, which is the best time to do it? Is it right now? Or do you want to wait 1 year down the line? You will say, oh, I still have time. I can still do it next year. I can still build my team in January. For right now, let me focus on this and this. Let me focus on my job. Let me focus on my schoolwork. Let me focus on this and that and that. You are going to pay the price at some point in this business. And that is the reason why many people fail. You keep on thinking you have time. you don't have time. When people are building, when people are growing, when you say, let's fill the presentation, let's do this, let's come and learn these skills, that time you don't think it's important. That time when you really, really need to learn it, you really need to do it, I will not be there. You'll find me in Mauritius. I'll be enjoying the sun in Seychelles. I'll be sleeping on the beaches of Seychelles. You know, I'll be boarding flights all over the country. But this time when I'm telling you to learn the skills, you're giving me a hard time. Let me tell you, if you don't do it right now, at some point, you're going to pay the price. So I'll urge you guys once again, once more. This time when you are doing team activities, do it with us. When you say, let's do this, when you say, let's come for pizza, when you say, let's attend this skill session, do it with us. Because you never know. There's never going to be another time. Don't think you have time in this world even. This life is not ours. Don't think you can do it next week. We might, who knows, the world might end next week. So this time when we're doing it, and that will not give you comfort. That will not tell you that, anyway, I don't need to do it because the world might even, some people are foolish. They might use that as an excuse not to do things. Be very wise and know what you're required to do when you're required to do. So ladies and gentlemen, the last item on this list is having no written down goals. If you don't write down your goals, you will soon forget them. With all the distractions in life, forgetting is very, very easy. When you first join your network marketing company, you must have had a goal. I don't care which goal, but I think during the orientation, I think we discussed why join the business and what do you hope to accomplish in a 2 to 4 year plan. And then we also do a little bit of goal setting. You must have had a goal. It could have been anything: to buy your own house, your dream car, or to even get fit, or to help people, or to travel the world, or it doesn't matter. So to help you remember these goals every day, you must have what we call a dream board. A dream board is a visualization. A dream board can be any board, a magnet board, cork board, or anything that you can pin pictures on, with visual representations of your dreams pinned onto it. Find bright, colorful images that make you feel fantastic, ambitious, or motivated, and place this dream board at the side of your bed so that when you wake up in the morning, you will immediately remember what you're working towards. It's called the power of the subconscious mind. Whatever you tell your subconscious mind, there are some things which we tell our subconscious mind, I'm a loser, I cannot do it, I cannot make it. Those things that you think when you are alone is what determines who you are. When you tell yourself you are a winner, even at the back of your head, you tell, I can do it. If you have that kind of belief, then it's going to be so much easy for you to become successful, no matter what challenge that you face. But if you don't have your written down goals, you don't have something that your subconscious mind is thinking on, then you don't know what you're working towards. You're what we call a headless chicken. When you slaughter a chicken, it can still run for at least 5 to 10 minutes without a head. You are a headless chicken. You are just running around. You don't know where you're going. You are clueless. But when you have a certain set of goals and you've written them down, you've created a dream board, you have placed it somewhere where you can see, it is very easy for you to work towards your goals, because there is something that you are seeing, there's something that you are learning, there's something that you're working towards. Ukiamka tu hivi, the first thing you see it and you tell yourself, I have to buy that house, I have to buy that car, I have to go for that vacation. So what can you guys do? First of all, let me give you some few things that can help you very, very quickly. Now, first thing, when you're writing down your goals, you can categorize them into short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So short-term, long-term, and mid-term goals. Now, these goals, you can write what you want to accomplish between 0 to the first 6 months of you being in the business, or 0 to 6 months from now. Then midterm goals, that is 6 months to 2 years plus. 6 months to 2 years. In the next 6 months to 2 years, where do you see yourself? What do you want to accomplish? And then long-term goals, that is 2 years, plus in the organization. So I think up to that point, you can do that. 6 months to 2 years, and then 2 years to 4 years plus in the business. What do you hope to accomplish within that time period? Now, if you're finding it hard to write down those goals, then the easiest thing to do is to classify them into categories. So you can have maybe financial goals, write down everything in those 3 categories. So if you are writing down financial goals, you can write short-term, mid-term, long-term. Then come down, write health goals. Health goals, maybe to have smoother skin, to cut down maybe 4 kgs, to grow 1 centimeter taller, if you can do that, if possible. So you write it in short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. Then come to spiritual goals. For those who need exorcism, there are some of you who are disturbing me, and I'm not even sure prayers are enough. You need exorcism. Uombewe tu mashetani zitoke. Anyway, I'm sorry for that. So you write them in short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Then come and write relationship goals, and not the relationship that you're thinking. This could be anything from your family to your siblings, to extended family, and even if you're planning to marry in the next 6 months to 2 years, you can do that, to have a kid. So relationship goals in terms of the people you relate with well. So you can write short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. What else is remaining? Financial, health, spiritual, relationship, and any other category. There might be one other category I might be leaving out. I'm not so much sure, but you can do that. Now, write as many goals as possible. If possible, write 100 goals in each category. If it is financial goals, short term, you can write like 30 of them. Mid term, you can write like 30 of them. Long term, you can write like 30 of them. If it is health goals, you can write 30 of them in the short term category, long term, and mid term category. If it is, also maybe your business, in this business, I was forgetting that, in this business, short-term goals, mid-term goals, and short-term goals, mid-term goals, and let me do this, short-term goals, mid-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. What do you hope to accomplish in the business in the next, what do you hope to accomplish in your business in the next 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, 4 years? So you write it in that category. Maybe in terms of getting a rank, maybe you want to have a team of 1,000 people. Maybe you want to be having 5 millionaires in your team in the next 1 year to 2 years. You can write it down in that category. And then lastly, you can also include that is a dream board. So kama ni you can have a dream board that looks like this. This is a rough drawing, then something like this. So here you can put the kind of cars you want to drive, the kind of vacations that you want to go for, the kind of income that you want to be making. Let's say you can take a screenshot of a DTC that has hundreds of thousands, and you put it there and you tell yourself, I want to be making that. The kind of family that you want to be having, and what else? The kind of team that you want to be having, the kind of clothes that you want to be having. What else? The kind of house that you want to be having. You can also include what else? Apart from clothes, house, any other thing that you feel is necessary, you can include it there. So when you have this and you print it, you print like 5 copies. I think the best paper to use is like an A3. A3 ni ile inatumika kwa engineering drawing. It's like 2 A4 pages, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's like 2 A4 pages. So when you have an A3 paper and you print all those uh, when you print them, when you print it, you can have one page unaweza weka next to the side of your bed. You can print another page, you can put it where you work, or the work point. You can put it in the living room, in the kitchen, some place where you access regularly, so that when you pass through that place, you have to remind yourself that you have something that you're working for. Ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the mistakes that people make in this industry. And I hope that you've learned something, and I hope that we are going to do better now that we know better. If you are in a position to right now change some of those mistakes, I will advise you go and change it, because it will bring a difference in your business. Okay, so that is